When shall we three meet again? Thunder, lightning, or in rain?
In Macbeth, we have two worlds. The world which is the sort of real world of the characters, and then this extraordinary world of the witches. And once I knew that I was going to set it in a kind of, if you like, a modern nation family, it struck me that all nations, because they are migrants and therefore all migrants, carry in them two worlds, the world that they inhabit and the world which is a kind of distant memory of somewhere else. And so I thought, well, actually, what would happen if a young man was grown up here, but has also been fed at home by stories of some extraordinary past, a grandeur, full of bling and full of power? What would he feel when he first sees a group of people who look extraordinary and who remind him of stories that he'd heard of somewhere else? And would that sort of trip him into these thoughts of what he could be?
I think Macbeth in every culture resonates with that culture. Within the British Asian community, yeah, of course, you know, these extended families and the squabble sort of family squabbles, you know, who's got more money, there's all that goes on, you know. And sometimes it does lead to murder as well.
What I love about the concept for this play is it's the collision of two worlds. And I think this difficulty of trying to progress with the modern world and keeping a relationship with the ancient spiritual world, I think that's a really interesting blend. What he's got is this contemporary, modern British Asian feel, and then he's got the supernatural world of the witches being very much from the old Indian world, and he's using hijra, these sort of the third sex, who are neither male nor female.
There's all this sort of sense of the witches being out of time, and also not necessarily bound by gender. In India today, there is this sort of community called hijras, and they have this ambivalent relationship with society. They are part of society and yet completely apart from it. They subscribe to neither gender, and the kind of provocation of them is to do with what they are. For most of us, we relate via gender. You know, is it a he, is it a she, and we kind of regulate ourselves according to that. When you're confronted by an individual who is neither and overtly asserts this neitherhood, where does that place you? They're mischievous. They are prophetic in that if you don't give them what they want, they'll curse you. And indeed, they'll also bless you in terms of what the future might hold. So they're kind of, I felt that there's lots of resonances.
To beguile the time, look like the time. They're welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue.
With the Macbeths, we have a married couple on stage together, and we see this shorthand and understanding that they have together, and this shared goal that they discover on the way, which is, you know, if we've got the opportunity to be at the top, why not take it? And I think that's what distinguishes them from the rest of the players.
I think they both have power. They both use it differently, I think. He's powerful in that kind of, you know, he's this soldier and he's out there and he does his business and everything. But I think she has a strength that comes from this woman driven.
Here is this pair of lovers who get increasingly, it's like they're in a vortex which is dark and bloody, and yet they remain this pair of lovers. And so I keep thinking of those musical boxes, you know, when you open a box and there's this sort of pair of ballerinas or whatever else. And that seems to me the thing, they are absolutely dependent upon each other. And it is an awful feeling that their evident love initially and then continuing course of love is in the midst of this chaos that they themselves have unleashed and then can't really control. The music enhances or underscores or underlines or punctuates the text that we have, like the music of the text itself, to bring that, just to step that up from the mundane into something bigger. I mean, in a way, the movement is built into the text because we've got so much fighting to go on. And the fighting is movement. So it's actually a language which is material to the play. So that's the kind of task really, is to find that language, to hone it down so it's material to the play. It's serving the story as it sort of rushes on.
Stars, hide your fires. Let not light see my black and deep desires.
For me, the exciting thing about playing Macbeth is there's elements of humanity in there that we can all relate to. So for example, we might all have felt sort of like, oh God, if I could just elbow that person out of the way, I might get the promotion I'm after. Well, you know, Shakespeare allows us to go that extra mile and say, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him and become top dog. And so even from the seeds of a humanity that we can all relate to, an emotion, a jealousy, a greed, whatever it is, he takes you that far. See, what are the circumstances, what are the consequences of this? What drives us? And we're all fascinated by what would happen if we go too far.